I've always been bad at intros anyways, and we have a lot to discuss. And you guys might not remember even this contest existing. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive back into it. We're going to talk about what we got right, what we got wrong in this lineup. I think it's pretty obvious. We'll speak about it in just a second, but I want to bring in Donnie and Gov. And that at the end of the show, we're going to kind of give you our season review, basically, of the things that we thought in the preseason of the year. And it's actually a really fun exercise for me because sometimes I forget how good or how bad I did in some areas. So Donnie always puts that together in kind of a presentation form. But as I welcome in the guys, like I said, we're not going to waste any time. This lineup, because we were talking a little bit before the show, this lineup, I feel like just it wasn't a fair competition because of the weather. And now I know weather is part of fantasy, but that the weather was such a contrasting, almost immediate factor. Like earlier in the day, for example, my mom came over. She wasn't really interested in the game, but as she was leaving, she checked the score. There was no snow on the ground, no nothing. It looked green. We had seen Stidham hit a big pass. They had 7 points on the board. I'm like, this looks pretty good. I actually played some Stidham in my personal, so I'm feeling pretty good. By the time she got home, there was snow on the ground. I told her to turn on the TV, and like it was a whiteout. So that's how quick this game turned. And I don't think now, Donnie, you were more plugged in this week, so I'll start with you. There was no real indication that we were going to get this bad of a storm, right? Like there was a chance of weather.
I don't think the coaches knew it was going to be this bad, honestly.
Well, I think you're right because what was it? Sean Payton could have he could have settled for a field goal and went for it. You know, like if he had known that it was going to be this low scoring, I think a field goal would have been very valuable.
To be fair, they went for multiple field goals in that game and they were missed. So
yeah,
could have just been a decision of the moment.
3 misses, 1 block.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I mean, before the weather, though, I think he had a chance to kick a field goal before the weather had really taken off. Like, to Donnie's point, like, if he had known the weather was, going to be that bad, I think he would have taken the points. So that kind of speaks to how unpredictable it really was. So I'm not trying to make an excuse for it, but I really don't think, like, we can even look at these snowflakes and say, like, oh, that was just a bad process play. Am I wrong?
I was never on this game.
Stacking the Denver-New England game was the contrarian play, and it didn't work out. All the points came through Seattle and the Rams, and we needed more of that game. We needed to have, we needed Kyron, we needed we needed Parkinson, we needed Cup instead of Humphrey. Like there were just different plays.
And that's where I'll deposit the dollar into this contest every time and be like, we knew we were taking a contrarian outlook and we knew we were shooting for first place already with this lineup construction. So I'm okay losing it. And so, but I just don't even think we got a fair chance at the idea of what we were trying to be contrarian about because it was almost like this game got a snow day. It was like, we're just going to postpone this game essentially. Like they had to play it, but it was it just wasn't it wasn't football, I feel like, at some point in that second half. I will say people acting like, oh, these championship games should be handled at neutral sites. Like I've actually heard a lot of that buzz that's nonsense. Like this idea that the weather should not affect me. Like this is still football. I don't know. Those kind of discussions.
I hate the idea. I love outdoor. I love snow games. It makes.
Yeah, to your point, Donnie.
I'm with Donnie. I love the outdoor effect. I would love for the new Buffalo stadium design might be the way to go of the future.
Yeah,
where you build a stadium that covers all the seats, but still leaves a full open for the field.
That's a great argument.
Grow actual grass. You can have sun.
Yeah,
like all of that.
That's actually a really interesting build, and I don't even mind domes. Like I like the contrarian difference in the diversity we get with football, but if you have a dome, or if we transition to a lot of domes, I can live with that. But the idea that we should just have our best games indoors on purpose because we're afraid of weather just seems like a very silly argument. But to your point, Gov, we were already going contrarian with this lineup. We knew we needed kind of unpredictable things to happen. I mean, in a way, we did see glimmers of it. Like Drake May had a good performance, and we played him for that reason. We played him because I think I said that he had the highest upside for rushing among all the quarterbacks. Like,
and he did have a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have more rushing yards than a lot of running backs in this slate. So I felt like it was a really good play, and it was. It just he couldn't. It wasn't a complete game. Literally, they could not pass. So this lineup just happened to be what it was. Donnie, is there anything you can take from this lineup that we did bad outside of the weather concerns?
Mine was so different. Honestly, like I was very not against this lineup. Some good plays, but like I wasn't on this game.
I'll just come out and say it. I was never going to win this week because Darnold was the top guy. I had no play on Darnold stacking. Like even when I stacked the late game, it was all through Stafford.
Oh, yeah. I did Stafford as well. I did Stafford, JSN, Puka with K9.
I had a Stafford, JSN, Puka lineup as well, but it filled out with a lot of Humphrey and Mac Hollins when what you needed was Kupp and.
Well, you're right. What we really needed was
I did Mondre and Evan Ingram.
Yeah, that would have worked. See, like I think you almost needed to treat this slate like a showdown, just eliminate that first game, and then like I don't know how you would have gotten there unless you were just biased and being like, I don't want to play any of this game. And I guess Donnie was there. Maybe it had something to do with his fandom and just being like, I want to enjoy this game because I'm a Patriots fan.
You could have played the defenses from the first game. Either one was
That's
fine.
what I did. I played the Broncos.
Yeah. I had New England and Denver defense, yes.
Yeah, I played Mondre, Broncos defense, and Evan Ingram, which they all like. Broncos defense is the only thing that hit. So
yeah, at least Evan was cheap enough. You probably said some other good things.
He actually didn't snowflake. He didn't snowflake.
Yeah, I think you min cash with that lineup. You were telling me.
I did 150. So. Yeah.
Okay, so
in that game, no snowflake. Really? Wow.
Yeah. So I think this lineup pretty much we can just bury this like the snow buried them in Denver.
This was a very good final classic slate set. We went contrarian, and this is how contrarian works. It's either all fire or all ice.
You know, there's the saying.
There's that one flame at the bottom.
There's that saying that maybe you're not wrong. We haven't hit it yet. Like you haven't got there yet. So maybe Donnie will save us. Maybe the Super Bowl we're going to be so contrarian with our captain pick that's the time we'll hit. That's the time we'll.
God, I forget. Donnie gets to pick the captain, and he gets a homer team with the New England.
I know.
Like I didn't get to pick the captain when Carolina was in the Super Bowl. This is garbage.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Was there even DFS back then, or were dinosaurs?
I was playing it in California. Yes, trust me. In 2016, there was DFS. It was early. It was early. Trust me, it was early. But I was playing it. I had a showdown lineup. I'm pretty sure I had Jay Stu and Mike Tolbert in that lineup with Cam.
Tolbert. Ooh.
Those are the drafter days.
Yeah. Right? Trust me. I had them. I'm pretty sure it was them. Ted Ginn. I forget the random Bronco I had. I went 5-1 Carolina in that Super Bowl. Homer.
That's beautiful. That was draft days, though, right? DraftKings wasn't around then.
I think I might have won off to Manning. Wow. Honestly. No. Peyton was having a horrible year. It was someone. It was a receiver or something.
Maybe Demaryius Thomas. Would he have been there?
Welker? Something?
Walker wasn't there. Walker was retired.
No, not in the 2016 run. It was someone. I forget. Again, this is 10 years ago. I'm trying to remember a showdown lineup from 10 years ago. On a weekend. And that Super Bowl weekend was bad for me personally. Like, oh my God, I can't even. Let's not think about that.
But when I go through the description,
that whole 2-week stretch leading up to the Super Bowl was a very weird time in my life. So. Okay, I'll be that. My mother died during that 2-week span, and then the Super Bowl happened. It was a very weird 2-week span that I was rooting for Cam and that Super Bowl. Very weird.
I was also rooting. I just didn't want the Peyton Manning.
Instead, I vividly remember having Jay Stu, Mike Tolbert, Ted Ginn, Cam
Newton. That's pretty good because I don't remember my Super Bowl lineup last year.
Talk about a mix of emotions. That's a mix of.
You don't remember your Eagles Kansas City Super Bowl?
Don't even remember my captain.
Who did we put in the showdown? I picked it. I'm trying to remember. Did we do Devonta Smith captain?
That sounds. Did we do Dallas Goddard? Because
no, it would have been like Kelsey probably.
Oh, you're right. It probably was Kelsey.
Oh yeah.
No. I think I made us do Mahomes. I made us do a Mahomes triple because it had worked the year before, and I'm like, I'll just do Tyreek or Kelsey, and then it ended up being the Mahomes triple. And I'm like, you know what? The quarterback's the right way to go in the Super Bowl.
I know as well. We've been doing this podcast for a little while, but I know it's even a little bit better. I never call us experts. I never say we're going to win. I never guarantee any of that. But I do say we're experienced. And this proves that we are experienced. We've been doing this a long time. We're dedicated.
I have been playing this game for 10 years.
Not that we're good, but we're dedicated. Speaking of which, we will do more reviewing. Donnie, this is kind of your brainchild. You love tracking this kind of stuff. So I'm going to kick it over to you.
So I will say, I did get some AI help on this because it did a great job, honestly.
Oh, is it? Oh, boy.
Sometimes the AI
How many six-fingered people are we going to see in this?
None. It helped with the grading system. The grading scale, which is actually the next slide. So, it's going to be 1 to 100. It's similar points as last year. We're going to weight by division standings being correct, a correct record. Perfect record is going to be extra weight. If you were off by 4 to 6 games, you lost some points. Off by 7, we were off. It was a big downgrade, and every playoff team you got right was a boost.
All right.
Now, I'm going to ask you beforehand, what teams do you think we all were most wrong on, commonly?
Oh, well, let's see. All together, there was a team that all three of us
terrible on.
The Giants.
That is a good guess. I'm going to say the Packers.
What did you say, Gus?
No, because I was kind of high on the Packers.
Were you?
Yeah.
He said the Giants.
Well, all three of us were on, because I'm trying to think, who was I low? Like, I was probably low on Seattle. I don't know if you two guys were. I know I was low on the Giants, and they did better than I thought. So I'm just trying to think personally me and
we
what
have
might
a
have
slide,
missed you guys.
But I will say it is very funny how bad we were on this team.
Oh, I'm sure.
So first, we're going to start with Logan picks. Big notes was Logan got all the standing in the NFC East right.
Ooh.
Almost all the NFC South was within 1 game of each other, and predicted.
Well, I mean they all were tied at the end of the season. Of course, they were there 1 game of each other.
No, but like he was right about it.
He knew they'd all be almost tied at the end of the season. I know.
Yeah, I do remember that. And let me say, Johnny, this is really beautiful. This looks like a Spotify Unwrapped. I love this kind of stuff, but I would never do it. So I'm so glad that you got the AI producer, you put in the time, because I love this kind of stuff, but I'll never have the patience to do it. So
I spent an hour and a half on the slideshow. It was a little bit of extra work finding everything that I need to do. And the 14 playoff teams right, which is great. This slide, I didn't have Logan's division standing, so this next one's going to look a little bit wonky maybe, but it's the best I could do with what I had. So this is Logan's picks. If we want to look it over, if you want to pause, look over it. If there's any notes you guys have.
Okay. Yep. Detroit, Chicago. Okay, he did.
I do have a bit of a fun note, though. We're not going to talk a lot of Super Bowl, but I think this year, at least I heard this statistic, so I hope it's true, but in my mind, it sounds true. This is the year where both Super Bowl potential winners, Seattle and the Patriots, had the longest odds coming into the season. So I think both of them were at least a plus 150. So basically no one predicted anywhere close to these contenders. Like even if you look at it from a list perspective and you listed out 10 or 15 names, a lot of people did not get to Seattle.
Yeah, like me and you were high on the Patriots to be a playoff team-ish kind of team, but we were not on this.
Which would have been, that's what I was going to say, Donnie. Did you have any kind of fandom bet? Did you have any kind of like, well, I'm doing DraftKings now, or I'm kind of like dabbling? Was there any kind of like fun MVP bet for Drake May?
I can't do that.
Crap,
so.
I forgot. Where did I put
Indy? That's right. You can't
Indy
do
would
it.
have been that team.
Yeah.
That we were all wrong on.
I don't normally do that, but I know like a lot of fan bases will just be like, oh, well, this is my favorite team. I want to cheer for it. And so I was like, maybe Donnie had a piece of it, but it doesn't sound like it.
We'll move over to Gov's side, which this is what the rest of it is going to look like. Hopefully we can get all the division ones like this, or I can put them like this again. But
okay, I'll do better, Donnie. I'll do better.
Gov, I was so happy to see you got all the NFC South division placements right. Of all people to get it, it would be you, Gov. Gov also had 2 super. Look at the Patriots and Seahawks for Gov. Man,
yeah,
you got 7
I
of
was
the 10.
expecting another 4-13 season. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, as you can imagine, they're wrong by I think 9 on that one, 8 on one. So you suffered a lot of heavy losses on points, and then half the playoff teams right, which is not bad.
Well,
if you're shooting 50%, I think that's a good rate when we're in July.
And I was just slightly above 50%, right? Like I think that's
you
a
were
very
8-14.
That's a very good year, I think, of when you talk about how much parity we saw. Like we saw,
especially when the team's missing is the Chiefs,
right?
The Ravens.
I think a lot of people are shooting under 50%. I'd be proud of that.
Yeah, I think I was very happy seeing 50% there. So that's not that bad. If anyone wants to pause and take a look at those,
Seattle and the Giants. Chicago's another one I was really low on that didn't.
Yeah. Washington, me and you were both really wrong on. So I got highlights. I got 6 of the 8 bottom dwellers in the division. I was great on the basements.
You knew who sucked. You knew who was going to suck.
I had within 3 games, which I'm really proud of, and half the playoff teams, right? So I was shooting a pretty good percentage, I feel, with that.
What I learned,
I did okay in all of my season long, and I won Dynasty this year, yet I may have had the worst thoughts coming into the season.
Look at my Colts, though. That's bad.
I forget. Go back. Where did I have Indy? I think I had them pretty shitty, too.
I think I was the highest on them.
I think all of us had Indy at like 3 wins.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I had them very, I don't think I
had them 3-14. I had them 2-15. None of us saw Indy coming. And to be fair,
none of us saw Indy coming.
Daniel Jones sort of fucked with us for 7 weeks, and then they fell apart.
Yeah. But I believe somewhat in Daniel Jones. That's why I was big on the push of getting Daniel Jones. If they
just had Phillip Rivers all year, they'd have that fucking record.
Yeah. But we were off by, 5 games on them, so it wasn't our biggest hits, actually, together. Because they didn't finish with a good record. They just started hot. All right. Obviously, our biggest miss together, Darnold.
No Darnold trust. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's all I could put.
Off by 8, off by 9, off by 10. Yeah.
That's rough. No one's going to predict the Chiefs collapsing like they did. I mean,
let's pause here for a minute, though. Why do you think the Chiefs collapsed? Do you think it was Andy Reid's fault? Do you think it was just the Rice injuries and just the mismanagement of chemistry?
I think it was just due. I think a dynasty team. Even the Patriots in their 20-year dynasty in the middle had a year or two where they were bad. Brady missed a year because of injury. Mm-hmm. They were just they barely made the playoffs and then lost in the they had 1 or 2 years in the middle of that. Kansas City's due for that. And I will say this too, and then
they haven't changed. They haven't changed coaches in a long time, like offensive coordinators. So when you have the same minds in the building over and over again, I think that's a problem. You need to get new ideas and new minds in there. That would be my biggest thing for the Chiefs
Andy Reid needs to get some fresh blood. Probably honestly, I think he needs a new defensive coach.
But he brought back Eric Bieniemy.
And then they need to rebuild the interior lines on both sides. It's great to try to get him a weapon. Like, you're never going to replace and get a new Travis Kelce. He's got plenty of good young wide receivers coming up. You might be able to get one more, but you need to rebuild the interior lines and probably get some new coaching on the defensive end.
Yeah, I think he's falling into the Belichick trap, the old coach trap, whatever you want to call it, of you stick with the guys you're familiar with and don't branch out. And that's, I think, the biggest downfall of coaches when they age. They won't branch out ideas. They won't bring in a young guy to come and help them. So I think that's where the Chiefs' collapse is, to be honest. Hopefully we see more like young coaches come in, assistants, get a couple ideas in there, but maybe not.
We saw Eric come back. So, like, they kind of did that Patriots thing where they brought back a culture guy. Like, Patriots turned over to Mike Vrabel. It wasn't Bill Belichick, but he kind of has that same – he has a trust of the organization. So I think Eric Bieniemy coming back for the Chiefs is kind of a comfort for them. I actually heard Travis Kelce, for example, might consider playing again because he's so familiar with the system already. So it could happen. I thought, Donnie, you'd be a perfect guy to mention it because you kind of rode that. What was it? Like, I guess we'll call it the Mayo years, Gerard Mayo. But then you're quickly turned around. So it can happen very quickly. I think Gov's right. It just was time. Sometimes you have to start from the bottom.
Obviously, we all thought Giants Saints will suck. And those are we all predicted 5 of the same playoff teams to make. So Logan had 8 out of 14. Me and Gov 7 out of 14. We both agreed on 5.
I would have liked to have seen the check mark system on that. Because, yes, all 5 of us had those 5 teams in the playoffs. But check, yes, Bills made it. Check, yes, Niners made it. X, Eagles. Check, yes, Rams. Check, yes, Chargers. Oh, wait, did the Eagles make the playoffs?
Yeah, Eagles made the playoffs.
Oh, I forgot. They lost. I keep forgetting that wild card round.
Yeah, and I will, by the way, be sending the link to Logan afterwards so he can put in the description of all of our scores broken down and why they were broken down. Obviously, I just summarized it a bit into slides. But Logan will have access so people can look at it if they want to after. And the final standing. These are the scores. This is what we came up with final scores. I'm happy with these grades. From July, we don't know what the rookies look like. Again, this is an exercise to prepare for best ball, right? So if we were
pretty much, it's our sort of like what we do on Mondays or Tuesdays when we're preparing. This is our first look. It was just in July,
right.
Or what? I forget. Was this early July or
early?
Yeah, I want to say it was early, like
almost 4th of July, like maybe a little after 4th of July.
Yeah.
So this is, again, we do this as an exercise to prepare for best ball. The goal isn't to be right; it's to get our ideas out there. Right.
Now, Johnny,
let's solidify what my bias is currently, and see where I can and looking at that, it's like, okay, if I were to treat this like DFS and review, it's like, were there signs for me to be able to trust Darnold? Because, really, I'm looking at it like, yeah, he had a good year in Minnesota, but he also then fell apart at the end of the year. But he then also fell apart at the end of the year, which is even still what I expected from him this year.
But Gov, I want to push back a little bit. You had some faith in Seattle because I know personally you were one of the biggest pushers for us moving up JSN in our best ball. Like you were the reason.
I did think he was going to be an absolute target monster. That is true.
So, you had some faith. Was it just that you thought JSN was so good and maybe
I didn't think Darnold would win games. I thought he would still competently move the offense.
I see.
Because I saw Geno Smith competently move the offense the year before.
Right.
So maybe it was
and him being in the Raiders didn't give me huge faith in the Raiders.
So maybe the issue was we overlooked defense, not Darnold.
Yeah, that might be it. I did not realize that. Even though Darnold did have a good season this year, it was just like Minnesota in that he didn't need to, and that Seattle defense is legit.
And I mean, we do have a Darnold bias.
We all have the Darnold bias. It's clear.
I'm biased, I think, more so because I gave up on him the year he went to Minnesota. I was like, okay, it's over. We've had this too long. They drafted their guy. They're not going to start him, blah, blah, blah. And then he gets hurt, and I had given up on him at that point. I waited so long and then it's hard to reel me back in after I finally gave up 5 years after.
Conspiracy theory: the GM sabotaged Darnold in Minnesota so that he could get him cut, so that they could start McCarthy. And that's why he's gone now.
He did.
Because McCarthy sucks, and Darnold was actually good, and you let him go.
Yeah, before the podcast, they released that news from the.
I hate that he gets released for that because that's Kevin O'Connell too.
Probably. I mean, it's GM
you
and
don't
coach.
the GM doesn't make that decision alone.
Someone is more at fault because they wanted to draft J.J. McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Whether it was the GM or the quarterback or GM or the coach, I don't know which one exactly. But one of them really wanted McCarthy, and that's why this whole thing crescendoed as it did.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's sort of like the Belichick in the Hall of Fame first ballot. There's no reason they should have let Darnold go. If anything, try to give him another 1 or 2 year deal, so that at worst he's your backup,
right?
And he knows your offense. But he could have started in front of JJ again this year or whatever. But no,
yeah, that's just hindsight. That's hindsight. Let's be real.
Yep.
He had a bad end of the
year.
year.
Captain Hindsight is all we have.
Donnie, one of the things I was impressed by,
I love how it ended up.
Say what?
I love how this ended up. I love how it ended. I'm really happy with our scores and our predictions, and I think it does help with us a lot. It's something I like to continue.
Yeah,
it is. It helps me see my bias. It does. It helps me see the reviewing this and seeing, okay, I was clearly off on this. It wasn't just the Darnold stuff. You saw me. I had a lot of the big misses. So I was on one hand, that means I took stands on stuff. On the other hand, I was wrong on those stands.
See, that's why I personally like doing this podcast the most, because it allows me to I have went back and listened to something that Donnie or Guff has said. If it helps one of you guys, that's great. You guys can get in the comments. You guys can like and subscribe. That keeps us kind of motivated long term. But more often, it's just a 30-minute or an hour time where I can say, hey, what's Gov thinking? Because I know he thinks way different than I do, or Donnie thinks way different than I do. So it puts me in their mindset just for that 30-minute block when we build lineups. It's not removing my bias, but it's saying, hey, maybe they are thinking something and I can use it in a way. For example, me and Donnie will say, oh, yeah, I want to go with a cheap quarterback. But me and Donnie very rarely agree on who that cheap quarterback is. You played Sanders, for example, a lot more this year than I did. Obviously, that worked out.
Money.
Yeah, Pro Bowler.
It's Pro Bowler, yeah.
Oh, man. I do want to say, though, I'm not even being funny here. We have known that game, the NBA All-Star, all these All-Star games have just kind of really never found a good balance between entertainment and then a representation of the sport. But the idea that Sanders, and I say this as a disrespectful thing, the league should be embarrassed by this. Not even Sanders. It's not his fault. He just finally accepted an invite to.
Well, I think they tried to invite Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence said no. And when Trevor Lawrence says no, and then you invite the next guy, and everyone's saying no, it's not like the NBA guys aren't saying no.
Well, I mean, LeBron did say no to this. The NBA is somewhat responsible. But back to my point, though. When your league is so disrespectful to the point they get down to a rookie who doesn't even have a winning record as a starter, and they name
touchdowns.
That does speak to how bad your showcase game or your fun game is. At that point, just bring in kids or something and film kids playing youth football or something, play tag. I don't know. At some point, you just got to get rid of it because it makes the league look like a joke to me. It really
I will
does.
stand on this to the end of time. Why have we not tried moving it back to Hawaii and making a week vacation for these players? That worked. Players went. Players had fun.
Yeah. That was basically one of the only reasons players did it at that point in time. It's okay, this is a vacation for my family to Hawaii.
And I just got to play a football game and some skills challenges.
That's exactly it. You either have to go all the way into fun, whether that's involving the youth, making it more of an interactive experience, whatever it is. but you can't
That's how the NBA's kept it at least viable. Is they give their players a week and a half off in the middle of the season to help stay healthy.
Yeah.
Like really, what would happen if you did the Pro Bowl week 14 at the end of best ball and just gave you made it a 20-week regular season, but every team gets a bye week 15.
No.
And there's just no football.
Gov, I heard that
everyone takes a week off, but there's a Pro Bowl game.
Yeah, Gov, I heard they were doing the Pro Bowl in the same places where the Super Bowl is, so San Francisco this year, and it's on like a Tuesday. That's how much they've given up on this.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't care. They don't care anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're just gonna drag the dead horse and you don't care, like I use the metaphor, but you got to kill it at that point. Like, I don't know. It's like it doesn't work. You're proving the point it doesn't work.
At least the NBA, the NBA, they should just change it to a different gimmick. Like the NBA has already moved on to the point they know the All-Star game is not what people watch. It's All-Star Weekend. It's the skills challenge. It's the celebrity.
I enjoy the dodgeball for the Pro Bowl, the dodgeball, what all the other races and stuff.
I think they should lean more in on that.
Yeah, I
agree. Where is the quarterback challenge from the 2000s that they used to have? Why do we not have
something like that?
Exactly. Like I don't even care if they're
find something that can be a little bit competitive. Like that's the one thing I wish they had more in. Like that's the one thing I wish they had in the NBA that they would add. Like I love the 3-point challenge. The skills competition is solid. You know what I'd love to see, since we don't get it at all in the game? Give me a 1-on-1 tournament, just like a 3-point shootout.
Right.
Yeah.
Just give me just give me an 8 players in a tournament. They have to play. We'll random bracket 1-on-1 against each other. See who's the best 1-on-1. You got to be able to play defense and offense. Street ball 1-on-1.
Listen, no one watches dunk contest anymore. Everyone's done every dunk. You can't recreate something. Add a trampoline. I don't care. Try it. Try something.
They will. Something. They jumped over Stuff the Magic Dragon in cars. It's like whatever.
But that's exactly what it is. They've embraced it as a weekend, though. They've embraced it as this like summer camp fun experience. Like they know that people are going to drink too much soda, and it's going to be goofy in the wrong way sometimes. But they've made it an event that at least celebrities show up to, and maybe they're A-list, maybe they're YouTube stars, but like it doesn't have to always be for me. But what the NFL is doing is unwatchable. I feel like it's just. Like literally putting it on a Tuesday proves that point. To get back to our review, though, the one thing I did notice about this year specifically, now Donnie, you review it, so maybe you have a better idea statistically. I think this is our closest, most consensus race. Like I think last year, I want to say Gov just blew us out of the water.
No,
like
it was me and Evan were like by far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I was about to say it was like Donnie and Evan that blew us out of the water.
So it might.
Me and Evan had like the same list, by the way, which was weird.
It was. I do like the rating system was nice though this year.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I will try. I will try to send it all to you. I do have to get going. Logan, you know what's going on personally. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna call it. But you guys can close up if you want now or keep talking about it.
I think we've had a good review show. Like we got a few weeks. We're getting in. The Super Bowl is coming. You will have your captain chosen for our Super Bowl.
Donnie, you said, no, you can go. I'll finish up here. But you said you had it narrowed down. Donnie hasn't narrowed down. Gov, are you scared at all of what Gov?
I know one or two. I know someone he's got it narrowed down to, and I'm getting ready for it. We'll have a good captain. Trust me. We'll build a good team. Whatever the player.
I really think that it is a good reward. I'm glad that we do it, but it does matter how you build it too. Like I feel like you could tell me who the captain is and I could still get it wrong based on how I build the flex. So that would be my kind of Super Bowl preview for the people is like, don't just lock in on like, oh, I got to get my captain right. You got to make sure that lineup has a storyline to it and it makes sense. But speaking of which, I don't want to drone on with this show just for the sake of it. You got to get to work. We got to live lives. We got to be safe. Ultimately, though, we'll come back for the showdown. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it. I'm actually glad that we didn't talk about it. I feel like the media day and all that stuff gets I almost forget about it. Like you forgot the Eagles even made the playoffs because that's a perfect example. So I'm glad that we were able to kind of give people the review show and do something a bit different. With that being said, like and subscribe on your way out. Thanks for joining us. Take care, guys.
Peace out, everyone.